It looks like it because you count it was yep, there's downloading is that's what yeah, we're gonna take a minute. But it's because all the scripts haven't downloaded was yet to download. I have so many skins. It could be a pay-to-win player. Technically. Like all these guns, if I killed you, you would turn eyes. Like you until before and it's subject to.
I need to get a picture again. Just one more.
Bro, no, it's gone, dude. Bro. That was me in 8th grade.
That's you, 8th grade?
Dude, I look the same, dude.
Wait, it's 20 this big.
No, there was like
Two examples.
Yeah, wasn't it? Not that time. That one was posted. I made my spam in my
Number 5 right here. What would you do first?
Forget what no skin.
Most of
Skin for it. So that's dumb content.
Yeah. Well, that's all for X. Don't mess with this term until it's by itself, right? Right now, you gotta first subtract them. Now, the official rule that you're doing, the actual math principle, right? Is subtracting 11 on both sides. Like I said this last time, I don't remember. 2 minus 11. So now there's no more constants near the X term. So what would you do?
Wait, which one are we doing?
Divided by. It's supposed to be 3.
It's supposed to be 3. It's not 5. Oh, it's a new problem. What do we do next?
There you go.
It's
What page? One. That one says I'm
yeah.
I think he's just trying to test one. There's no final here.
You said it's a new problem.
Well, he's doing a new problem, so.
Whatevs. There's
Oh, okay.
we divide by
Six, eight,
that number. It doesn't matter. I mean, I can use more letters if you want. You're gonna obsess over the 3. But alpha. Numbers don't matter. It's the process. Number. Get rid of that coefficient, right? That's what we're doing. Once you have these, they're the same, so they cancel out. 5 over 5 is a 1. So you have technically a 1 right here. We never write that because it's weird. And
At the winky face.
okay, don't try to divide early or you're gonna make the question harder. You divide like right now and say, oh, you know what, I want to get the X by itself right at the beginning. Then you can get fractions everywhere. Life will be harder. So don't do it. Divide as your final. Right now, after doing like a million of these, I just feel like, you know what? I just like to think of it as just moving a term to the other side. Just not think about it anymore. I don't care. I'm gonna just put it over there. When I do, turn it into the opposite. Whenever I cross an equal sign, no matter what kind of term it is, we'll just switch to minus. One thing with that way, that's fine. I want to skip this little step right there. You don't? I don't care. It's his. But you see, it's the same. Anyway, what did it say about what reciprocal would you use? You drew this 5. instead of dividing by 5, what would you multiply by?
What?
The number 3, that big thing we wrote down, we said,
It's because it's harder with a 5, sir. Because then you're gonna get a decimal or another fraction.
you like that?
Oh yeah.
It's done. If you want a decimal, you could do long division. I don't, let's do that.
So it's x -9 over 5.
What do we say? Said or division, right? You multiply or divide. First step was we divide by 5. So what is the other option? We said. Multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the coefficient.
It's a space.
What does reciprocal mean?
The opposite.
What sense? Yeah, it's just flip the 5 over basically, right? That's what you're saying. So, or 5 is the reciprocal. So you could, I'm not saying you have to, multiply both sides by a fifth. That's what the other part of the rules say. So 1/5 times 5 cancels. You get 1/5 times a -9. But this is technically over 1. You see how that's the same. Now this method right here is rarely useful unless the only time I like to use it when you already have a fraction there. Like for example, let's say there was a 2/3 on the x instead of a 5. Then the reciprocal is better. Dividing by 2/3 might be harder. Okay. I mean, you could do it either. You can still do it whatever you want. As long as you follow the rules, you'll be good. But there are shorter paths. Like for here, dividing by 5 was easier, right? But with the fraction, the reciprocal was easier. Still work out either way. I'm just giving you a warning. You guys cool on this first problem? Got 7. That looks like 8 fractions, dude.
Can we just like make every single one into decimals and just like do it like that?
Make it over, man. Got to. Eventually, there's no number, so you can't change algebraic terms into decimals. When there is no numbers. Same process. What do we do first? You subtract 2 fifths. Yeah, subtract the 2 fifths on both sides, right? Now, I'm gonna move it over just because I'm lazy. That'll be 7/4 minus 2 fifths. You cool with that? You skipping that step? Is that fine? Now, subtracting these,
It's not because they depreciate.
you need to do the LCD. There's no.
Damn, they depreciate, man. What's the give me playing the point?
It's already got the
Do it the other way. It doesn't make more sense.
No, it's last. This wish is gonna go.
Break them down in prime numbers. You can see what's missing. Where does this one need, It says 2 twos, this has a 5. What is the 5 missing?
You're gonna watch the game tonight?
Game. What game? Oh, the game.
Yeah. That would make it into an LCD, make them the same. You got multiply the top and bottom by something.
So you're gonna go your
Make
girlfriend's
them the
house.
same. This has 2 twos, right? This has a 5, so this one needs 2 twos.
Oh, no, well, I heard
This one needs a 5.
We are.
Not a trick question.
Maybe like 4. Right, when you go to 20.
20 will be the answer, yeah, the LCD. What we need is 5/5 on this guy.
I'll kill myself.
And technically. They can leave it as 2s if you want. I agree that. The same. Same exact. The other way we did it was break down the numerators. Prime, you're good. You try to figure out, okay, what is the LCD? We counted the factors that appeared in this time, right? Nothing here, and no two there. 1, 5 there. Answer was I had to proceed.
Oh, we won.
I'll show you a different way to say, well, you factor them, you can see the factors they're missing. You just add them or produce them. That makes sense or no? It's staring at me like you bombed the test last week. Worried about them.
It's not saying that. But I'm ready for the radar.
So that faith though, you can see
I can't replace you.
7 times 5,
What the fuck?
2 times 2 times 5. Minus 2 times 2 times 2. Over the same garbage. That's cool in the fraction step. Well, move on. But they're the same, what can you do?
Subtract.
Yes, just subtract them, right? So what do you subtract them? Yeah, just the top, right? Just numerators, nothing else.
At least you can. The Southwest campus is like down the street from me.
Yeah,
Down the street. I should go down Couples Road. Yeah. I've seen it.
over. We have a fraction on the x. I recommend using the reciprocal. Be a little bit easier. What's the reciprocal of 1/2? It's 2. Yeah, 2/1, which is 2/1. Multiply both sides by 2. That's all you gotta do. And then this one after this guy. Just remember that it's negatives. You have to use -2.
Dude, you know how much shit I could do with the Honda? I can blow that engine up. She's gonna get fucking killed. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to think about this, but like, they're pretty sure like buffalo cars. Nah, I don't think so. Maybe I'll go grab it. Let's go look at Mitsubishi first. Mitsubishi.
Space.
When you hear Mitsubishi, it's what kind of car is it? It's a year, See, there's Asian cars, German cars. Huh? Say what? It's like, damn it. Asian, sorry, sorry. What do you think though? Yeah. Asian car.
Oh, that was unnecessary. I
Wasn't it?
want to remind you.
Julian?
You could do 2 times 27 to get a big number, or you can factor the denominator and just cancel the first row.
I'm not getting
There's no more common terms, so we're done. I'm 100% sure
I don't answer, but
it will not reduce any further. So our answer is
some core. I'm almost feeling for 20,
Negative.
20 and above. Like, I don't got the money to go like that. Because
this guy.
I'm not trying to have them fucking shit on trucks all the time. Damn, that's a lot of steps. I'm gonna fail. I can do good on one.
These steps that don't make sense to you.
Hmm.
Okay. Did I lose you along the way?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I kind of gave up like a long time ago.
Where we're at?
Yeah. In the beginning, like, literally the beginning. I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me. At least just this lesson isn't for me.
Oh, it needs to be.
I don't like fractions at all.
Avoiding it is only gonna cause you to fail, and I don't want that to happen. Start from the top, right?
Wait, actually though. Put it out there.
I don't know, who cares?
There's literally so many steps. Like I'm not understanding the steps.
Yeah, the answer doesn't matter. Let's see what happened. What
I'm
happened?
talking about the answers. I'm trying to figure out the steps, and the steps are figuring.
The things we wrote down at the beginning, we said the first thing you do is move the constant, the thing that doesn't have any x's, move to the other side. Right, that's step one. Also, actually, step one is technically using like term. You do not have any. Step two is move the constant. So I moved it over. Right, see how the 2/5 is over here? So now I need to combine these. In order to do so, I need the LCD on the bottom. What is the LCD of 4 and 5? Alright, you can find it doing it this way. You can also find it by trying to figure out what is the smallest number that both divide into or divisible by 4 and 5. Right, what is the smallest number that is going to go into divided by 4 and 5? Right, it's gonna be 20. 20 is divisible by both 4 and 5. You agree? So that means I need to change them both to 20, that's 20s. The other way to think about it is that if I were to break them down, this one's already prime, it's a 5. I'm like, well, if this guy had 2 2s, and this guy had a 5, then they would be the same, right?
Alright.
I'm like, okay, well, let me just put a 5 on there. The only way I can do it without breaking any math rules is to multiply the top and bottom by 5. This guy needs the 2 2s, so introduce both of them there. Which is really just a 4, right? 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 4 is a 20. We knew we wanted the 20. Now they are the same. Now you can subtract. All this right here, this step right here, is LCD step. We're adding and subtracting fractions. After that, 35 minus 8. Right there. Right. Which one? Alright. Finally, the fraction step is done. Now just solve for x. So we can multiply both sides by -2 and divide by -half. I ran out of space, so I got kind of messy here. So all you gotta do is multiply this side by -2 and that side by -2 and reduce. So I did -2 over here, cancels. -2 times this thing will eventually reduce to this. Eventually. Number 8. So the first step is get that constant out of the way, right? You guys said. Thirds.
Doesn't matter how and what way you put which one first.
As long as they're both positive. So now push it. Can add them.
7 plus. It's gonna be the same thing. 7 2/3.
7 over 1 plus 2 over 3. So what does this one need to be?
3.
It's a 3 on it, right? LCD is 3. So introduce. Put yours in. That'd be 21 over 3 plus 2 over.
You're playing too fast.
That, oh, no way.
We're just gonna get that done. and done.
Understand the problem, that's what.
I'm just like, you have something like 2 over. Give me. Sorry about it. I would every single thing I've ever had. I've only had 2. Right. So I've only had 2.
Just right, because these are common.
Three times. Slash 3 times. Gonna say insurance ain't gonna cover that. Slash 3 times. So I mean, but theoretically, you could slash your own time. Or it's higher. And be like, oh my god, it's almost like times.
Okay. Who with me after this? So. That's true. You multiply this 3 and 7, 21.
Oh, so much slash 2.
Who would you next?
Worth most of the.
Hate
Add the 21 and 2.
yeah, these are same numerator, so 21 plus 2.
Same denominator, same fucking everything.
Same denominator. That'd be, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm gonna give you a fraction test.
Oh, a fraction test like this coming up.
Fractions. Shit time. If you do well, I'll give you extra credit towards that last test to help you out. Does that sound like a good deal?
No, no, not really. It sounds like a terrible.
Thursday.
It sounds like a win-win for you, but also more grading for
You got a
you.
win?
Sounds like a win-win for you.
It means more work for me, so I don't like it. But
Yeah, you did. Then don't do that.
I'll help y'all out though.
We'll be fine. Just grade.
I don't know what day it is, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Wednesday. The Wednesday, we'll spend lots of time practicing fractions. Okay,
Just kill it.
do well, then I'll help you out as much as I can. It's just
I just don't think I'm gonna understand a fraction. I'm just not gonna understand a fraction.
you just get past that.
Get past that. Very unpredictable.
Yeah, you got that 8 right there in the way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I get past it.
Wait, why are you doing that for?
Alright, check it out. The reciprocal, because technically there's a 1/3 on there, right?
Is that a 2 trying to be a 3 or a 3 trying to be a 2?
Like, real quick. Y over 3 is the same as 1/3 y.
Well,
There's technically a third on there. What is the reciprocal of a third? I use this instead, I can just
Integrate.
here. See what I mean? The most divided by 1/3 would be weird.
I'm gonna be Boston. I had a Boston once. It was actually pretty good. Another Boston, but it'll be shit though. Dude, you can fucking Miata. Should I get
Any questions on number 8?
last 3 already?
Huh?
What could you?
Second. Did you guys see that page over there? Click on 11. Some student did this. How do you have to,
Which one do you?
what do you do wrong?
The one that you like. Yeah.
What do you think is right? Hey, what did that student do correctly? What do you think it's fine?
You have to put the equal sign in front of the 1/3, right?
Well, the first line is the question. That's how it starts. 1/3 x plus 4 equals 9. Right after that, the student starts trying to solve it. Yeah, we should subtract the 4. If you don't, let me see. And they just straight up ignored it, right? They did ×3 and ×3. But why did they times the 4? You're supposed to times everything, both sides, right? So if you're gonna do it wrong, you should at least do it the right way. You know what I mean, clearly, not know what they were doing. You would have moved the 4 first, we wouldn't have to worry about it. We would have had a simpler question. Okay, you could have still solved it. You could have still got the right answer if you follow the rules, but doing it out of order, you can see makes it harder, right? That makes sense? Everyone see what went wrong? Okay, what about B? What's wrong with this guy? Yeah, weirdness. There's a subtracting 3 from every term. Well, you're supposed to subtract 3 from both sides, not every single term. That's the first problem, right? Second problem is we somehow subtracted 3 from an x, and those are not the same. There's no way you can do that. How the heck did we do that? You know what I'm saying?
that problem would have been a fraction.
Yeah, it would have been 9/5, right?
Wait, not.
I'm sorry, 8/5. Yeah, still a fraction. Let's take a 10-minute break. Look on these for a bit. 5.
Was that you?
But I don't know.
The wall and I have sides.
I didn't see you.
You know this. Switch.
Real quick, let's go over those questions. You first on this guy. Yeah, put it over. You should get. Yeah, yeah, 0. That's the next step. Yeah. Divide both sides by your coefficient. 0 divided by 4. 0. Any question on number 1? What you guys got? Two, first step. Back to 14, getting you to here. Then
You killed yourself.
we're gonna divide by the same, whatever number's on the variable. It's called coefficient, right?
Shoot.
-2.
Answers positive stuff.
Yeah. Negative divided by negative is. Any issue with the first two? A big deal. Okay. 0 equal to -3W minus 8. You first. Add this order. move it over. I'm right here. We've also added the 3W if we wanted to, right? All right, we'll move on then. It's cool on 9.1. Any issues or concerns? Okay. And if the homework close, open up in a bit. Nine point three then. Simplify each side of the equation by removing any grouping symbols and combining like terms on both sides of the equation. Number two. Use the addition principle of equality. And add the opposite of the constant term and or variable term. To both sides of the equation so that the variables are on one side and constants are on the other side. To get group everything together. 3. Use a multiplication or division principle of equality to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the coefficient of the variable, or divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable.
What? I remember you're about to one.
Then you'll have a constant of 1. You the top part. Yeah. You would write like the which part? For one? Yeah. Let's see, the part that I added is by removing any grouping symbols and combining like terms on both sides of the equation. Number 4. Take your answer, same thing as before. Check your answer by substituting it for the variable in the original equation.
Where can you go up?
Move it up.
Or down, he meant.
Or down, sorry. All right, let me write down the types of equations here. A conditional type will have finite number of solutions, usually just one or two, depending on what type we're talking about. But each type will have just one answer. Identity type means you have an infinite number of solutions. That means like no matter what you choose, it's just always true. Could be like if you're solving for something, and the x's disappear, but you still have a true statement. Like, okay, well, it's not wrong, but what happened to the x? You see that scenario, it's gonna be an identity type. It has infinite number of solutions. If you ever see a contradiction, this has no solution. I guess we'll do some examples. That's cool. But do first. Check if there's any like terms. Right now. Nothing on. Not on their own, but. We do see X's and we do see constants on both sides. When we move them over, things should combine. Okay. So what should we move first? This one? Okay. Move the X over. Now I have. This going on. Subtract X on both sides and you get it to here. Is that okay? Is that approach fine? Yeah, if you choose to think it this way, whenever it moves across an equal sign, it swaps to opposite. Now we got this 2 over here. Move that guy over here, right? -8 minus 2. And becomes more negative. Final step. Yeah, divide by 2, or what's the other option? Divide by. Reciprocal of 2, right? A half. What's your answer? X is -5. Any steps here that don't make sense to you? Beginning, middle, at the end, doesn't matter. Is it okay? Weird. Do first.
Parentheses.
And parentheses are in the way. How do you deal with them? Yeah, do the distributive properties. 1 by 2. We'll have 2 times Z plus 2 times 1. Nothing crazy. Now it looks like the last question, how it started. Right. Same garbage. What would you do first? Okay. So I'm gonna move this 3Z to this 3. Combining with the 2Z. Move it has to switch to opposite because you're technically subtracting. Right. Yeah. 2 minus 3. That gonna be -1Z or just negative.
That's I don't want to.
So far, no issues. All right. Okay. Now there's this two in the way. Move the two. Here's our final step. Yeah, divide by -1, or what else could you do?
Just 0.
What's up?
Just 0.
0? The Z?
No. Wait, what?
3 minus 2 gives you the 1, right?
Oh, it's 1, yeah. That's your answer right there.
It's almost there. It's really close, right? Really close. So get rid of this negative. You'll be fine. So you can multiply both sides by -1. Or you can divide by -1. Negative times negative gives you positive. Any steps that did not make sense to you? Is it okay? All right. Move on to 7. Yes, you guys are all cool with 5 and 6. Good. First step is check for like terms. Do you see any? On either side? Which ones?
X. And then -0.1 x.
Yeah, they're both x terms, right? So it's 1 minus 0.1.
0.9 x.
9x. Okay.
You just had a great response.
I'll just start isolating things. Move the x's over here, move the constant over there. Doesn't matter which side, just make sure they're by themselves and you'll mostly be good. When you're comfortable, you can do 2 steps at a time. Move this over there and this guy over there at the same time. All right. Sense. Move this dude there. That thing here. Now we got 0.7x equal to negative 7. So far.
Why did they both become minus?
Which ones? These?
Yeah,
Well. Once you think of it, if you decide to think of it this way, move something over to the other side of the equal sign. It'll just swap opposite sign.
so how come you just do this plus?
I move that positive. Okay, negative, I move this positive. X term. There. That weird?
Yeah.
I skipped a step here. Last time I showed each one.
Cause you move one to the other side.
Yeah, over here we did one at a time, right? We said. Move the 3Z first, then move the 2. And then. Here we say you don't want them to do it both at once. If you want, you don't have to.
He's looking.
That guy and move that.
You're telling. LA.
Final step.
Where's my really playing?
What's my game? Yeah, we're.
Right, 8, 9, and 10.